Now this is a kind of torque wrench that a lot of people will be familiar with. You'll see the gauge here, and it's a long handle with a head here, and there's actually two parts. There's two bars. What actually happens is when you pull on the handle, you're actually bending the larger bar, and this smaller bar stays straight. And so depending on the amount of deflection, the amount of bending that happens, you actually pull and bend the big bar, and the small bar points at, in this case, inch pounds, but foot pounds is usually standard. The other thing you got to watch out for is make sure this handle is being held in the right place, because it's actually measuring from the pivot point right here, that little metal pin. So you have to make sure that this handle is centered on the pole to get an accurate reading here. Now that's a great tool, and it works fine, and you just torque until the needle points where you want. But a more modern version, or a version that guys today might be more familiar with, is this kind. And you actually you set the handle to the number that you want, and then you just tighten it here, and then when you get to that point, it gives a little jump, just a little bump, and you know that you've hit your pound feet. And so I know that this particular flex plate, according to my Chilton's guide, is supposed to be torqued to 80 pounds. So what I'm going to do is I've loosened the nut here. I crank this down. It's very hard probably for you to read the numbers on my video here, but 80 is right there. So I'll crank that until I'm zeroed at 80 pounds, which is right there. So there's the zero, right at 80. And now I just put my socket on there like normal, and when I crank it down tight, it's going to give me just a little bump, just a little jump when it hits that 80-pound mark, and I know that I'm torqued down to specifications. I do this exactly the same way that I just did this right here. And so I'm going to start here, go those three, get them all torqued down, go these three, get them all torqued down, and I just do that all the way across. No big deal. You can do it. It's very straightforward. So I just start here, and I pull, and when I get to 80 foot-pounds, it just gives me a little jump, just a little jump right there, and I know that I've hit my mark. And that's all that I have to do. It's very straightforward, it's very simple. If I can do it, you can do it. And that's how you use a torque wrench.